Hi folks, I'm SilmarUK and welcome back to my Let's Play video series on the Encased RPG, which is in Early Access. So let's just get back into the game. So last time we had, I presume, jumped forward into the future after contact with the Relic under Nashville base. We've just been doing a little bit of exploration. Found that there were some people wandering around outside of this base, which we did not have the strength to tangle with, but we've come up to another bit of it, this observation deck, for the purposes of just seeing what's here. So the elevator is out of order. Okay. Stop near the binoculars. You see the half-erased inscription on the orange case of the device, Western Sector. Look in. The only highway is going west. The hot air rises from the white shimmering salt marshes, distorting the image. The light stripes, barely visible against the background of white sand, precisely delineate the contours of an object too regular to be part of the landscape. The C12 Nashville object has to be somewhere there, or rather what's left of it. To the west then. Zoom in on the mysterious stripe. First it seems you see a reflection of the salt marsh hanging in the hot air, but for a mirage the object looks too accurate, too massive and cut out. It's difficult to say what it is. Objects in the west of the dome have been poorly studied and plans to explore them have been shifted to the far future. Will people ever get there? Look at the salt marshes. Snow is not uncommon to the desert. Polar latitudes or high plateaus, there's no shortage of frozen water there. The white sparkling spots you see in the binoculars to the west of the dome are not snow. Salt marshes occupy a significant area of the sector, instantly disappearing behind a barely visible shining in the air border. Maybe there was once a Midland salt lake. Maybe the forefathers conducted some large-scale experiment. It's unknown. To locate Nashville base. Remembering the route to C12 Nashville, you see the binoculars, point the binoculars at its ruins. You can't see very well from this point, but you can still see the neighbourhood and even the parking lot. Let's look at the parking lot. Fragments of concrete and road blocked up all the parking lots. Turrets, security boosts, disabled on the abandoned tracks, all crumpled, torn to shreds, scattered on the asphalt, which begins to grow over. Surrounding area? There are abandoned cars and minivans outside the parking and cargo area, along the road leading to Nashville. Looks like Curiosity brought a lot of people here after the incident, brought and ruined. Stop looking at Nashville, move away. We've been updated. Well, okay, so that's a previous one. We found a dead body in the desert. Okay. Ah, right, that's what's been updated. Our map has. Okay, this is a way to update the map. Okay. Well, we definitely want to look at all of these binoculars then. Binoculars mounted on the ridge tripod is pointing south to the central section of the dome. Look in. It's hot in the south and almost everything is filled with sunlight. The red sands are covered with white spots. The binocular lens catches merry flecks. Only after you focus you understand that there is nothing merry about the view. There are bright pieces of the spire everywhere on the dunes. It fell during the incident. On the borders of the dunes you can see squat buildings Looks like the Roadside Picnic cafe is still intact. Almost directly behind it rises a dark funnel-shaped silhouette of the Maelstrom, and through it you can faintly see the ruins of Concord Station. Wow. Locate the familiar cap. Amazingly, the Roadside Picnic seems to be prospering after the incident. You see new buildings, a cleared road, movement and lights in the windows. Placed at the very edge of the Maelstrom zone of influence, but neither the residents nor the guests seem to be intimidated by it. Turn the piece of the spire. When the Maelstrom escaped, the spire structure broke down. The Cyclopean structure collapsed, partially sliding down along the dome at its foot, partially falling inward. Large pieces of the structure cover the sand dunes for miles around. Look at Concord closer. The dark ominous mass of the Maelstrom covers the field of view in its direction, but with luck you can see some structures in rare gaps. That's all that's left of the Concord station, partially demolished by the same Maelstrom, partially destroyed by the falling debris of the spire. Look at the Maelstrom. You refocus the binoculars so that the Maelstrom can fit in the entire frame. The sight is overwhelming, slow, even lazy spin, chains of greenish lightning periodically moving on the surface. What can a man do with such power? Binoculars facing east. Binoculars point east, its lens covered with a visor, shimmer with blue. Its lens covered with a visor, shimmer with blue and yellow. Look into the binoculars. The east abounds in signs of civilization. You can see mildly overgrown roads, rare trade caravans, buildings piled into settlements. So east might be the way to go. Close to the north of the sector is a complex of squat large buildings surrounded by a slum belt. If memory doesn't lie, the Magellan bunker is hidden somewhere there underground. That's the place we were originally going to go to. Close to the north of the sector is a... no, we got that, so look closer at Magellan Base. Of course it would be great if you could see the underground bunker directly from the observation platform, but alas, modern binoculars don't yet have these capabilities. You have to rely on imagination, visual memories and old maps. However, you manage to get a glimpse at a small parking lot surrounded by a concrete fence. At the end of the site you can see a stocky building with airtight doors. This must be Magellan. Well, let's look closer at the building complex. This is definitely a city. Buildings look strictly functional, stand almost up to each other. Beauty is sacrificed for the reliability of the structures, although the dome has its own standards. Look at the slums. The barracks and hut zone on the outskirts of the city look quite typical. You can see the crudely cut construction materials, the smoke from the fires, some rags flailing through the wind. All this is separated from the central part of the settlement by a high wall and a strong gate. And there are binoculars pointing north. So this is a good place to come to get an idea and fill in some locations on your map. Judging by the worn out pads on the eyepiece, the stationary binocular pointing to the north of the dome is quite popular. Look into the binoculars. The observation platform is located in the northern sector. Its borders as well as closer objects are clearly visible through the binoculars. Judging from the complex road junction that once was built nearby, there must have been a major settlement here soon. Behind the ruins, a smooth, long arc rises from the sand that doesn't look like the creation of human hands. Let's look at the road junction. A couple of years ago you would have been seen scurrying workers, asphalt pavers and road rollers. The road junction, the construction of which you would watch, would have been part of a new developed infrastructure of the northern sector. Now the spire has collapsed and no cargo is coming from it. No one would need the modern city with a cargo terminal and storage facilities and wide roads in these parts of the world. Focus on the arc. At first you think it looks like a small mountain range. The regular squat dune emerges from the sand and stretching along the horizon, sometimes hiding behind the cliffs and hills, but after refocusing the binoculars you can see the structure on the surface. Fragments repeated in a strange but perceptible rhythm are either an ornament or construction details. Try to look at the dome. Somewhere in the sands of the northern sector, far beyond the arc overlooking the domes, you can see the border of the dome. Its glimmering is barely visible behind the shimmer of the warm air, but we know for sure that it's there and it will never let you out. Everett Road location discovered. Significant fatigue. Okay, so we're going to need to rest. But go back to my data. my dome map. Let's zoom in. Okay, so although some of them are unknown, you can see what they are. Picnic Neutral Zone, that's close. Everett Road, the Maelstrom, the Mirror, the Relic Wall, the Salt Marshes. Okay, this is close to us, but it's to the south. The eastern sector might be the one to ultimately head to. And the east is where a city is. Let's just double check that. Yeah, the east is where civilization is. So I'm tempted to nip to the picnic to the south because it's the closest location. But to then go east and find out more about where we are. Okay. I have to say, this is quite cool up here. Right, so we're going to save here because we could get in trouble when we go back down. Okay. Oh, this is a message that we've had before. From the Domus, your new home. Haha. Yeah. Right, now we've got to be careful here. We have hostiles walking around. I could try a fight with them again. There's a body there. Right. We're going to save again. Let's see if we can get anything from here. Okay, now we've got to be careful because our encumbrance is huge. So I don't want to take just anything, I want to take things that seem like they could be useful. Also, as I may be about to end up in a fight, I might want to consider consume. Let's get some food inside me. So that at least gives me, yeah, that cancels out my drop in muscle. Okay. I must have checked that before. Now I can use the car, or I can try and take this lot on. To be honest, I don't think I stand a chance in this fight. I don't think I'm well enough equipped for it. Now if I could get up here, I could break their line of sight, which would stop them all from being able to gang up on me too easily. But I just do not see how I'm going to manage that. Rank 4, afflicted. Okay. And we know they've got some reasonable weapons as well. I'd love to come and search this properly, but yeah, rank 4, cryo laser gun. Cryo laser gun. So I've got a cryo laser gun, but they've got 2 cryo laser guns. And if I remember rightly, whoever's round here was not dissimilar. So what we're talking about here is a 3-on-1 fight. That's not good odds. Here we go. Yeah, cryo laser gun, rank 4. And I'm rank 4. What's more, I am impeded. Let's see if we can use this car then and get out of here. Lean towards the radio. Okay. We can't use the car. Leave the current location. It's time to head out. Picnic neutral zone. Cool, that's us travelling. We wander through the desert and suddenly fall fainting for a moment. A hum like the quiet sound of a huge bell fills your head. The space around you is filled with white light, but it looks somehow special. They're not rays, but soft streams of light are floating through the air, creating a clear, distinct picture. You see a bunker covered in steel sheets. A woman with a tablet in her hand is looking at you through whirling white smoke. There's something huge behind her. As you rise, you realise you can barely move. Every step you take requires a great effort, and your head aches severely. But you don't have sunstroke, and what you're seeing isn't a mirage. This is something else. Something is happening in your head. Keep going no matter what. Use your medical knowledge to stabilise your condition. Gather your strength and keep going. Try to improve your health with the help of improvised means. I'm going to use my... This is potentially a dream and mirage vision. If I try to improve my health with the help of improvised means, that may mean I use something in my inventory for no good reason. I'm liking number 2 the best. So... You search through the pockets of your uniform and find several pills, some to treat high blood pressure and a few painkillers. Put the pills in your mouth and after a while you realise that you feel better. The headache and hum soon pass. All that remains is a fading vision before the eyes and a silent voice repeating the words, City Emulator. Emulator? Am I actually in a lab or a medical facility somewhere? It seems that your path leads north now, to the Magellan you never got to, the city or the city built around it, and to the emulator whatever that is. Okay. There's nothing explicitly telling me to go north. Picnic neutral zone. I want supplies, I want rest, and I don't know what Magellan Base is. So although that is my next port of call, let's see if we can... and we know that someone here actually liked us. Electric light coming through the branches of dead trees, the flames of burning barrels, flares going up in the sky. We call this the light of civilization. They often go out before we even have the chance to see them. It's a bit ominous. Wondering about desert, you suddenly felt very bad. Some strange forces drawing me to the city in the north. Yeah, that's fair enough. I have to say, I am engaged by the story. Okay. Oh. When I registered Monty, I got a bit there. Okay, that's interesting. Right. Well, there's a turret right there. We could be... There's 2 turrets right there. There's 3 turrets right there. We could be in an awful lot of trouble if we weren't on good terms. We'll save again. Okay, that looks like someone's actually, you know, having a nap. It'd be rude. Let's see if we can't... This is the gas station we had to go into. Right, before I go and... There's a ton of turrets here. You wouldn't want to start a fight around here now. Let's see if we can find our old friend. There he is. Hello, buddy. Bring me up to speed, will you? Old Melville didn't change a bit. Same dirty jumpsuit, same slightly foolish expression on his face and strangely squinting eyes. Even the same computer Aaron plays chess with. The plastics on its case became rather yellow, but the mainframe still works. Black wins, speakers quietly croak as you come up to the table. When we first met him, back before the Relic, he was losing to the computer, so... Melville raises his eyes on you. Why can't you stay at home? Why are you goofing around? Bring people trouble? He stops short and rubs his eyes, then he smiles. It's you, my dear, aren't you? Long time no see. How many years raced by? 2? Yeah, I think so. I have a good memory for numbers. Ask him how life is going. Old man wags his hands. Hey, life, you say. Just some fuzz and buzz. Merchants, travellers, everybody needs something. Buy this, sell that. I can tell you one thing for sure. Never before I had so many clients here as now. It was like a burst after the incident. One moment it's the Phalanx. Phalanx is more than just another desert gang. The discipline, training and resources make this organisation a small private army fighting for anyone who will pay. But the ambitions of Phalanx leader go far beyond fulfilling mercenary contracts. Under his leadership, specialists of Phalanx have established trade caravans, infrastructure and their own weapons and equipment production. They also employ a network of informants said to extend to every corner of the dome. Nice. Then people from the committee came. The new committee. Shortly after the incident, when all contact with the outside world was lost, Cronus transformed into the new committee and took over management functions throughout the dome. As a successor to Cronus, the new committee is more than a state than a corporation. It's managed by Chairman Kimiko Nakamura. Though they claim ownership of the entire territory of the dome, in reality, the new committee only controls the northern sector and the city within it. Okay. So both the Phalanx and the committee are people we're going to have to deal with. Melville strokes his beard and grins. Tell him that now this gas station reminds you of a settlement. Tell him that you want something to eat and drink. Ah, let's carry on the conversation. Aaron nods. Well, right you are. I even think about building the second floor and rent some rooms. My window should look out on the north, on the swamp. Apartments with a view, so to say. Tell him you want something to eat, drink and eat. Yeah, I do. But there was a swamp before which was blocked off from us. I imagine that we can actually go in there and look at it now. The old man leans on the counter. Suit yourself, my dear. My granddaughter cooks here now, so the cookery is just quite edible. There's booze too. Ask him about his granddaughter. Audrey, my sweetie pie. Abigail, that one. He holds everything in hand. The old geezer smiles with satisfaction. Let's look at the wares. Okay. So my encumbrance is 54. I have 132 com bombs. We have a melee weapon, some onions, some boiled eggs. Salty food effect, packaged water, potatoes. I don't understand these beans. Weakness from poisoning for 150 turns. Does that mean you need to ensure that they are heated? I've got some, so I might. Oh, I don't think I've got any coffee. How much does a coffee cost me? 4 combons, you say? Barter ability 1 level. Okay, so I need to... We haven't actually done this buying of things before. Yeah, no. Thank you. Oh. Okay. No, I want to put all of that out of there. Okay, you just drag and drop and it automatically asks you if it's a stack how much you want. Or I can do the sensible thing and just do that, which is very nice. I like that. I definitely like that. With the rest of this stuff, I'm not entirely sure what I can use it for yet. But let's grab some coffees. Okay, cool. Thank you, old pal. There's stuff here, but at the moment we can't carry it. There's a sink. What happens if we use the sink? Vigorous. +1 initiative. Cockroach egg, kitchen. Right. Canned beans ×1. Won't let me craft anything. Ah, you can heat up the cans of beans and it will change it from poison into the warm food effect. I'm liking that. But I thought I had beans. I must have ditched them. I must have ditched them in the cave. Yeah, because they were only had poison in. That's a nice bit of attention to detail, that. Okay, there's lots to do here. But let's start off with talking to people. Then we need to get ourselves sorted out. Particularly, we need to get rid of this negative. Fragrant tobacco smoke clouds the room when you come closer. A man with a full head of grey hair holds up his smoking pipe. Good everything to you. Albert Green, free citizen of the Free Dome, at your service. So like in our Switzerland? Ask who he is and what he does. The old man takes a drag, taking his time and blowing smoke out of his nostrils. A little bit of everything. I'm an easy man. No charge too big. I can deliver a package, can shoot some walper. The rabbits, they are delicious and they do tend to chew on wiring when they are grilled. They do not tend to chew on wiring when they are grilled. More of the time, I'm off in the desert. If you know where to look, there's a lot of good stuff. Kronos haven't cleared after themselves. Collecting spare parts, disposables, if not too heavy. Again, there are relics. He winks and leans forward a bit. Could be you also need something, huh? Ask if there's anything worth attention in the region. Well, the whole dome. Albert spreads his hands and laughs heartily. He knocks his pipe out with a serious, consistent look. I do get you. But still, you have to accept the whole new world and not only some parts of it. Sometimes I think everything is alive here. Anomalies and crabs and even the barrens. The old man puts the pipe on a coaster and starts to tick off his fingers. So look, there are some anomalies in our region. I call them bad girls. Each has its own character, you see. Annette isn't so bad. She scares you with some radiation and lets you go. But Hilda, she can even splash some acid. Then the old A1 from the swamp, well, crap. Forefather's robot. Gloomy dude, hard case. Better not pick on him. I wonder what he's guarding there. And warpers from the barrens, of course, breeding like rabbits. They're even called rabbits among the locals, so you stay sharp and Pat can annoy you to death. Find out why Albert calls the neutral zone Switzerland. The man nods sturdily and tucks on his dusty suit. Because it's Switzerland. Strict neutrality, friendly to guests, free trade, and if someone acts out, we throw them out. Writing needs a touch of work, but this is early access. Cozy laugh rolls upon the room intermingling with tobacco smoke, because Picnic is our home, and everyone who doesn't foul the nest is welcome here. Respect to each other is the cornerstone here. Find out how he feels towards different factions of the dome. Scratching his nose with the pipe shank, Albert shrugs. Well, do ask on point. Who particularly interests you? Alex? The old man strokes his chin with the back of his palm and looks away. Well, the guys are sort of okay. Guns, uniform, discipline, enough of ours in there. He pulls up his sleeves and shows ring burns on both of his forearms. I'm from the orange ones. When it began, I was due to bad mouth and being led to the SHU in handcuffs. The guard ran away in fear, no keys. I was lucky there was a blue nearby. Weldon helped. Again a deep drab, again tobacco smoke. Dashed together from Magellan along with half the oranges. Some disappeared, some went to Papa Zemiquist. The ones who aren't up for mayhem, and as for me, I like freedom. Fighting not so much. So, some of these are options I haven't really heard of before, so it's a little strange to see it being offered as an option rather than a more general option that says something like, tell me about the factions. But, again, this is early access and there is still much more work to be done, and I am enjoying it. So, Carmine Heights. Albert smirks. They say you've got it good by the raisins. A little bit too nosy. They argue about everything. Waving hands, voting, democracy, power of the people, that is. But the most important decisions are still made by Johan and Olivia, almost alone. Asked to tell about the fops. Pipe in the hands of the man shakes from a complacent but bitter laugh. Kids, that's what they are. Abandoned, angry, invented this evil new game. They can sell you a relic or skin you for new belts, and not out of spite. Some say they became like this because of the maelstrom, and I still think this one thing, the maelstrom didn't come to us, it's the opposite. Albert goes silent and sits like this for a while, looking past you. What about church? Leaning forward, Albert closely looks into your eyes. Don't go, just don't. It's for you to decide, of course. I'm all for freedom of choice in any situation, but it's a bad choice, man. There is something hostile in this voice, yeah. The abbot says he's ready to perform a great miracle for the dome, but between us, fuck miracles. Enough of them already. No need for new ones, you never know. Cool. Right, what I would really like is a way to deal with my fatigue. And sitting down is not going to be it. Basically, is there a bed somewhere? Back when I was fighting bandits here, this place was nowhere near as well defended. Ah, there was a workbench. I'm liking the fact that it's all shaking because of the generator. Oh, wait a sec. There used to be a basement to the gas station, to the diner, and to the gas station. Is there still? Is that perhaps where beds can be found so that one can rest? This is either a very bad idea or a good idea. Well, this has changed some. Now we're down here on our own. There's definitely stuff here. Military grade medkit, I would definitely like that. Pogon, drug that cause alcohol and drug addiction. Okay. Don't seem to be doing any thieving. Well, I also want to find, you see, crafting benches so that I can maybe do something with what I've got. Help me get my encumbrance down some. But what I most want right now is a bed. Ooh. Only 5.5 kilograms during A5 auto hacker. Wow, I'm loving the 70s touch to it all. Unfortunately, that's too heavy for us to be carrying. So, I may regret clicking away from that because it might not be there when I come back. Right. Let's do a little bit more exploring of the station. That's locked. A bed! Fantastic! Right, so it's 6 o'clock in the evening. Well, we've just been transported through time. So I think it makes perfect sense to rest until morning. Well, we rested. It's now 1978, so we've definitely gone for a few years. Slight encumbrance, mild hunger. I still got fatigue, so resting doesn't clear the fatigue. Right, let's save here. Okay. So, I'm going to bring this session to a close here. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please do leave a like. That's always appreciated. Leave a comment. Let me know if you're playing Encased. Let me know what you think of the game so far. It is early access still, but I think there's definitely some very good bits to it and a lot of promise. And please consider subscribing to the channel to get notifications. Also on this channel you will find Let's Play video series for Shadowrun RPG, which is another turn-based tactical RPG. Beautiful Desolation, which is actually a point-and-click post-apocalyptic adventure in the style of a isometric RPG, and FF7 Remake, which needs no introduction. So thank you very much for watching. You can find me, by the way, as SilmarUK on various social media, on my website silmaruk.net. I live stream on Twitch 4 times a week at these times, and that's Elder Scrolls Online and Elite Dangerous, which I both do twice a week. That could change over time, of course. There is a Discord server if you're interested. Please, however, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I will hopefully see you again.